It's exactly 3 p.m. here in Cairo. Time for the news. I'm Shina Adel and I'm joined today by my colleague Mahisi Rabia. Good afternoon, Mahisi.
Good afternoon, Shireen. Good afternoon to you all, our dear viewers. And we'll start our news bulletin with a look at the headlines.
Welcome back. President eftitah al-Sisi on Monday received the special envoy of Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi. The presidential spokesman said the envoy conveyed a written message from the Congolese president to President Sisi, highlighting his country's keenness to enhance bilateral relations in various fields. The Congolese official hailed Egypt's role to find peaceful solutions to crises, notably in the Middle East and Africa. On his part, President Sisi praised distinguished relations with Congo, stressing Egypt's readiness to expand cooperation and establish development projects in Congo. The meeting also tackled latest developments in Africa and means of achieving peace and stability there.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi welcomed increased investments of British Petroleum in the Egyptian energy sector. Meeting with the Chief Executive Officer of the UK giant on Monday, the President said the government is keenly engaged in providing all the needed investment facilities to world giants and to enhance the private sector's share in the energy sector. The presidential spokesman, Ambassador Mohammed al-Shinnawi, said President Sisi hailed the BP's activities in the energy of Egypt industry and said the state is looking forward to extend these activities into clean and renewable energy. For his part, the UK giant's CEO said the company proudly boasts 60 years of commitment to working and increasing its oil and gas investments in Egypt. Cairo International Conference on Enhancing Humanitarian Response for Gaza launched on Monday to seek international support to the efforts to defuse the catastrophe caused by the Israeli 13-month war of aggression and its tightening of blockade of the Palestinian enclave.
Cairo hosted an international conference to support and enhance humanitarian response to Gaza Strip on Monday with broad regional and international participation. The conference, titled A Year of Humanitarian Catastrophe in Gaza, Urgent Needs and Sustainable Solutions, held under the patronage of President eftitah al-Sisi. The conference shed light on a year of humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza, focusing on the urgent needs and sustainable solutions with the aim of enhancing humanitarian response to the besieged enclave. The ministerial conference reflected Egypt's keenness on supporting Arab causes, atop of which is the Palestinian cause. The conference witnessed the participation of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, along with ministers and representatives from a number of countries in the Middle East and the world, as well as international organizations and relevant UN agencies. During his speech at the conference, Minister of Foreign Migration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs, Badr Abdelati, asserted that the ministerial conference to enhance a humanitarian response in Gaza Strip came in line with the continuous of unprecedented humanitarian situation in Gaza. Abdelati said the Israeli occupation forces continue to use starvation, siege and displacement as collective punishment. Foreign Minister assured that the aid that entered Gaza did not fit the humanitarian needs of the people in the Strip. He also stressed that the Israeli aggression in Gaza exceeded all limits, pointing that Cairo conference aims to urge the international community to exert efforts to face humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Minister of Foreign Migration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs, Badr Abdelati, hailed the repeated invitations launched by the World Food Programme to ensure access of humanitarian aid to Gaza Strip. Abdelati's remarks were made at a meeting with Deputy Executive Director and Director of Operations of the World Food Programme, SCO, on the sidelines of Cairo's ministerial conference to enhance humanitarian response to Gaza. In Gaza, Abdelati affirmed Egypt's readiness to provide all facilities to enhance food program despite serious challenges that face the program after continuous targeting of its officials in Gaza Strip. The meeting also tackled the latest developments in Sudan and efforts to provide humanitarian and food aid to the Sudanese people.
Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati stressed the importance of the international community's support to continuous efforts to allow the humanitarian aid into and across the Gaza Strip. Abdelati hailed the role of the United Nations and the efforts of its Secretary General over the last months. These remarks came as he met with the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, on the sidelines of Cairo Conference for Gaza. Abdelati also stressed the importance that participants in the conference deliver a clear political push for a ceasefire and stopping the Israeli daily violations that contradict with the international and humanitarian law. Abdelati also reiterated Egypt's rejection of Israeli military existence on the Palestinian side of the Rafah border crossing and Philadelphia axis.
Also on the sidelines of the conference on Gaza, Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati discussed with the Brazilian counterpart Mauro Vieira efforts to offer urgent humanitarian support for Palestinian peoples. The talks came in light of the catastrophic humanitarian conditions witnessed by the Palestinians and the necessity of international coordination to guarantee access of humanitarian aid. The two top diplomats exchanged points of view on the current developments in the Middle East and the importance of reaching immediate ceasefire in Gaza and joining international efforts to achieve peace and stability in the region. The two ministers said that they are looking forward to expanding bilateral cooperation in different fields in addition to tripartite cooperation in Africa.
The Israeli occupation forces bombarded the houses in northern parts of Gaza Strip in overnight attacks, killing at least 15 people. Palestinian medics said one of the deadliest attacks targeted a building in the town of Bethlehem, also injuring several people while others were missing. The Israeli occupation forces have been bombing clusters of the houses and schools, providing shelter to the displaced people in the northern of the Gaza Strip cities of Jabalia, Beit Lahia and Beit Hanun since they began an incursion in October.
The Syrian army said it had recaptured several towns that opposition forces had overrun in recent days in the northwestern Syria. Military sources said Russian and Syrian jets struck in and around city of Idlib and near Aleppo in northern Syria on Sunday after opposition forces had swept into the area on Wednesday, seizing control of all Idlib province. The army opposition group also swept into the city of Aleppo east of Idlib on Friday night, forcing the army to redeploy. The boldest armed opposition assault since 2020, residents said one attack hit a crowded residential area in the center of Idlib. According to rescuers, 7 people were killed and dozens injured.
An Israeli drone targeted the Lebanese military bulldozer while it was carrying out fortification work inside of Al-Abara military base near the Lebanese border with Syria. One soldier was wounded. Israel and the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah started implementing a ceasefire last Wednesday as part of a U.S. proposed deal for a 60-day truce to end more than a year of hostilities. The accord cleared the way for an end to a conflict across the Israeli-Lebanese border that has killed thousands of people since it was ignited by the Gaza war last year.
And the Cabinet Information Center mentioned that Egypt ranked 20th among 63 countries across the globe on climate change indicator for 2025. Egypt on 60.5, 2 points came in the second place on the Arab and African level after Morocco, advancing 2 positions compared to the previous year.
Egypt's stock market indices opened in green today, pushed by the local investors' purchases against the Arab and foreign investors' sell-offs. The net market transactions reached 2 billion Egyptian pounds in 2 hours after opening, adding 10 billion pounds of gains. The benchmark index EGX 30 slightly rose to 0.01% near the 30,500 points mark, while the equal weighted index of EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 0.5% and 0.4% respectively. Well, our dear viewers, with that we come to the end of our news bulletin. I'm Aisha Rabia, and I had all the pleasure to be working with my dear colleague Shireen Adel. Many thanks, Shireen.
Thank you, Mahisti. Thank you, viewers.